There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me as I invite on stage our next keynote speaker, Mr. Navin Joshua, founder, director, GreenHonchos. Let's give a huge round of applause to him. Pleasure having you here, sir. Over to you.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, I'm Navin Joshua, founder, director at GreenHonchos. A shameless plug-in right now. We will talk a bit about what we are doing in all of this. I think Jaideep was moderating the previous session. Jaideep consults us actively. We're talking about retail fusion. I think very much in the same theme of retail fusion, I'd like to continue our discussion forward and what we do in this space. But more from a market standpoint, a very quick introduction. We call ourselves an e-commerce enabler. We help brands or businesses who are anywhere in their retail roadmap. Largely, it's extremely phygital at this point. We hear customers converging. So really, I'm here to talk a little more about the behavior trends of consumers and what we are seeing. I'd made some quick notes. Yeah. Yeah. So really what you're saying is the customer itself has become extremely omnichannel. The search, the discovery, and the points of purchase, they actually go between different channels. And GreenHonchos started off primarily as a D2C first company helping brands. But over time, pre-COVID as well as post-COVID, we've realized that the consumer itself, not only devices, but also channels, is becoming extremely agnostic. And it's important for us to be available at all touch points. So not only is it omni-channel consumption, but it's also an omni-channel behavior pattern. Coupled with mobile first, coupled with social commerce, I think apart from payments and with the proliferation of UPI, we've seen how customers are very quickly adopting new behaviors. Even if you look at multiple formats of receiving payments, from micro to macro, they've all completely changed. We spoke about some other parameters as well, but I'll come back. This is a study by Deloitte about the overall shift in just about a 4-year period and how we think it's going to be in the next 8 years. One huge word is quick when we talk about commerce. I think Amazon was the quickest that was there, but now we know how many more, and almost all of the e-commerce players and marketplaces also have a quick model, which has gone across from F&B to even fashion. We don't need things as quickly, but now it's available, so it's become a habit. So challenges in the Indian e-commerce space, or actually let's say retail or e-retail space. It's a hugely fragmented tech ecosystem. Let's talk about some of the challenges that are there between channels and what brands face. In the session that was just here, we talked about how the product, the pricing, and the placement, how can it be as ubiquitous across channels? I think that's the biggest issue, and how with the experience, the forward and the return experience, the loyalty experience, the consumer data experience, they all sit in silos. I think that today is the #1 challenge. Obviously, data is the gold mine and all of that, but more than data is the utilization of it. We talk about conversion rates across channels. In fact, just last week I visited Broadway. If you guys have all heard about it, being a D2C first phygital experience as well, where the place is more an experience zone for discovery, not as much as a point of sale. I think that's a huge step towards convergence of the challenges that we face. We have a confusing slide. This is the IP of GreenHonchos, but I'm only here to talk about the middle part, which is the shop, where you've got brick and mortar, you've got exclusive stores, and you've got marketplaces, which are third party. The point in all of this is there's a lot that goes on in the consumer psyche both before and after the purchase. And how do brands and businesses or even enablers like us really work closely like we do with an in-orbit, like we do with a forum, and that's part of the reason why we are here. This evening we are doing joint case studies, and fireside chats, just talking about how pure play retail is actually bringing in a whole new customer journey through millennials and Gen Zs, and actually integrating their social and their digital experience along with their offline eventization. Just have another slide or two, and I'll wrap that up quickly. But the point of convergence that we're talking about is really a framework that combines technology, commerce across channels, and digital. I think one of our friends here, especially from Lacoste, was just mentioning how even for their entire offline, the promotion patterns have all moved digital. So for example, advertisements in print, most of them are moving significant portions of their spends of promotions through digital for their offline. And that's where I think data, personalization are all very huge trends that retailers are adopting. In terms of solutions and what we do, last couple of slides, we help omni-channel retail brands which are primarily traditional or offline first, but their consumers have traversed online, so we charter those journeys for them. Physical stores and malls, we're actually working with physical hybrid retailers and actually even integrating the entire supply chain, the entire digital experience, the entire demand generation, and actually setting up their 24/7 mall, so to speak. So that's the physical stores and malls we're talking about. Digital first businesses, the example I used was Broadway. There are a lot of beauty and personal care, fashion first brands that are digital first, and then they expand physically. The journeys for digital first or physical first are different, but at a point of growth, they both converge. And obviously, B2C and B2B businesses as well. So that's who we are in a very quick space. Here's a quick snapshot of the kind of clients we work with. We are out there. We've sponsored a chairman's club. Please feel free to come and meet us. We'd love to interact with you over the next couple of days. And we'd like to have you guys stay ahead of the digital curve. Thank you.